Faced by the harsh reality that they may be losing their community to drug activity and crime, a group of neighbors rallied together in order to fight for their neighborhood. Joining me in the studio is Craig Geddis, one of the founders of the new Shangri-La and White Island Shores Neighborhood Watch. Welcome to the studio.
Thanks for having me.
And you are the brave one. Other members were camera shy and didn't want to be here today.
Yeah, I do a lot of speaking in public and.
Very good. They must love that.
Yeah.
So, for those who are not familiar, and this including myself, who are not familiar with the Shangri-La in the White Island Shores neighborhood, paint us a picture of what kind of neighborhood are we talking about?
It's a working class residential neighborhood. Lots of young families. They're just starting out or into their second homes. We all want to have a safe space to raise our children. And that really is the neighborhood in a whole. I don't think there's anybody there that doesn't have a child that they know in that neighborhood.
Very good. Now, before this new neighborhood watch, was there another neighborhood watch previously that you may know of?
To the best of my knowledge, not for Shangri-La.
Okay.
I'm sure there was other people trying to do this though.
Okay. So I learned about this neighborhood watch in Wareham Week, an article about you guys. You had a cookout very recently to gather the community together and to inform them about their new neighborhood watch. But in the article you mentioned that you are the forgotten neighborhood. And what did you mean by that, by the forgotten neighborhood?
So Shangri-La is separated from most of Wareham by the highway. We have two ways in. One is from crossing the highway and one is from the backside of Plymouth. We don't have a grocery store, we don't have a school, a post office, we don't have a police station. We have a fire station and a convenience store, and that's about it. So there's no resources. We're kind of isolated, and we tend to feel that people forget that we exist sometimes.
Oh, you're part of Wareham.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what sparked the interest of starting this neighborhood watch?
Over the last 6 months to a year, we've had an uptick in petty crime. A lot of it is fueled by drug use and drug dealing. In February or March, we had that arson, and things had gotten kind of out of hand at the beginning of the year.
Now, do you go out and involve the police officers? What is their response like?
So the police have had a great influence on us, a great positive influence on us. When we decided to form, one of the first things we did was reach out to Chief Walsick. He was enthusiastic right out of the gate for us. We don't go out and do patrols ourselves. Our job is to act as the eyes and ears because the police can't always be there for us.
And what does that entail, to act as the eyes and the ears in the neighborhood?
When we see suspicious activity, we tend to report it, let each other know. If we see people that we don't know in the neighborhood, we'll ask about it. We also post a lot about lost dogs.
Okay.
Lost dogs seem to be a big topic right now. So it's not all bad things. It's usually just neighbors watching out for each other, getting to know each other, and really working together. That's why it's a neighborhood watch and not a crime watch.
Oh, okay. That's a good distinction there. So you had this nice cookout where you invited your neighbors to come, and I'm not quite sure what was the turnout like?
I believe we ended up with about 100 to 150 people. About 50 to 70 of those were children.
Okay.
Just because we wanted to show the town that there's a lot of kids that live out there that are isolated again.
Okay. And what were people concerned about, or were people able to talk about?
Well, the big topic of the day, and the reason we had it at our playground, was we're looking to revitalize our playground.
Okay.
We feel that the kids aren't given an opportunity to enjoy a space that's safe for them. So for bringing the community together there, it gives us a really good point to focus off of and work together to do one challenge with many, many small steps to do in between now and when it's completed.
Yeah.
But it gives them a safe space to start with.
Okay, and I think it's a nice way for people to come together and to work towards one specific goal. I've read that you are trying to reach out to the community preservation funds in order to help you
Yep.
with the building of this playground.
So we've met with the Open Space Committee. I've actually applied for one of the open seats to help on that committee along with one of our other members, Carol. Through Open Space, they've given us guidance on how to improve our playground, what we can do, what we should do. They're a great resource, and they will be the driving force behind revitalizing the playground. The community preservation funds will hopefully come with time.
And you have a nice, strong presence on social media. I checked, and I'm also a member. It asked me to prove if I live in the neighborhood. I was like, oh. So I just entered a random address, but you were able to get me in there. But I wanted to scoop to see what kind of things you guys are talking about in the Facebook group. But it's quite active. I saw the post about dogs. And I also saw people, would post about kids or suspicious kids in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
We always give everybody the benefit of the doubt. We don't want to think everybody's up to no good. The particular post you're talking about, the kids were seen looking into backyards, and specifically on a road that's been hit several times by petty theft, people breaking into sheds and things. One family lost all of their tools the first week they were in the neighborhood, which is a real welcome to the neighborhood kind of thing to do.
Yeah.
So, and that comes back to we just post about suspicious activity to let other neighbors know that while they may not be up to any good, it's always good just to keep an eye out there. We don't always know who everybody is.
No. So apart from neighbors looking after one another, what are other things you're looking to implement in a neighborhood, like lights, or maybe have a patrol car patrolling around maybe twice or thrice a day to keep that sense of security?
So in working with Chief and the Wareham Police Department, they have increased their patrols in our neighborhood.
Very good.
Just having that police presence, the neighborhood has already felt less suspicious and less tense. Along with that, they've brought to our attention the text-to-tip options that they have, which is an anonymous tip line that the police have, which is a great feature for us where we can, if there is something going on without much to do, we can let them know. One of the big things that is bringing the police in. Open Space has already said they would furnish funding to improve the security at the playground by helping us install a gate, security lights. We have a neighbor who owns a security firm who is willing to donate a police-grade camera
Very good,
that would feed directly to the station.
Okay.
And that way, the police may not even have to come out and check on a call. They can look on their camera feed.
Yeah. And how do you explain the police involvement or presence in the neighborhood to the kids? Are they alarmed? Because, it may be something new to them to see police cars patrolling. It's for their own safety, but did you have to explain that, this is for our own safety and doesn't mean like there's something bad that has happened?
So at our barbecue, Wareham Police had brought in about 10 or 12 of their officers and detectives. And they were playing ball, basketball, throwing footballs, just talking to kids, getting them to know like who they were, and that if you see a cop car, it's not always bad. Well, I think there is a stigmatism with them, with police, blue lights, and crime. At the same time, just seeing a cop car, it, to me as an adult, is a welcoming sight, and we're trying to help the children understand that the cops are good and they're there to help us.
Oh, very good. I should have come there because I've been dying to speak to these police officers to bring them into my show, but it's been so difficult. They don't like to be in front of the cameras much.
They're a little shy too, it sounds like.
So you talked about the community coming together. So where are you guys now? Is the main focus the playground, or is there something else?
So the Neighborhood Watch is still going strong. We've spun off a group specifically for the playground, which is the Shangri-La Playground Improvement Committee. It's a Facebook page. Anybody can join that's interested in helping us improve our playground. So both pages will be while the Neighborhood Watch will be helping keep the playground secure, the Playground Committee will be helping to revitalize that and managing that aspect of our neighborhood.
Okay.
And working hand in hand, Carol is actually managing that aspect of it. Working hand in hand with her, we'll be able to start to really take care of that area for us.
Very good. Now, what were the Wareham police able to share with you?
One of their best tips was don't put ourselves in harm's way. That they get paid to do that. They have the gear and the training. Let them confront somebody, let them knock on a door. I think that's their best tip that they gave us right out of the gate. Okay. They also gave us the text-to-tip line that I already mentioned. I know they were talking about something else. They also, Chief Walsick specifically said if there's an issue with an interaction, because you have to understand the police officers are under a tremendous amount of stress with their job. And if there is an interaction that a neighbor doesn't feel goes well, to just reach out and discuss that with him.
Was it easy to reach out to them and for them to be there?
Yeah, the chief called me back. I think I called him on a Monday, and I got a call back from him by Wednesday. He's very responsive. I have monthly meetings with him to discuss the ongoings of the Neighborhood Watch, things that we're doing. Things that he's doing even. He's got community meetings that he's planning and events that he's planning that he wants us to help him bring to the neighborhood so that we can be involved in the community at large and vice versa.
Okay. So sum up for us the goal for this Neighborhood Watch, to take back your neighborhood. What do you want the neighborhood to be like? What's the ideal vision?
The ideal vision is knowing that our kids can walk from one end of our neighborhood to the playground or the other end of our neighborhood and not have to worry about finding a needle or someone.
Yeah, and you spoke about the needles. I mean, how common is that?
That's incredibly common.
And what has the Board of Health said about that?
I can't speak to what the Board of Health has said because I haven't spoken to them directly about it. Okay. The police did give us a tip that if you do find a used needle, if you feel comfortable, and that's the biggest part, if you feel comfortable, put it inside of a plastic bottle, cap it, and put it in the trash. So again, I can't speak to the Board of Health, but the needles are fairly common. They're found on the streets, on our beach, near our playground.
And do you feel like it's people, sorry to cut you off, but do you feel people come into your neighborhood using the needles or disposing these needles inappropriately, or do you think those things are coming from within the community as well?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
There are people, I'm sure, that aren't using these needles for drug use, but at the same time, most people that use those needles are going to dispose of them properly. And we feel a lot of the needles are, again, the feeling is that they're not being used for proper use.
Yeah.
So, and we do feel that there is a presence from outside of the community because we are so isolated in the forgotten neighborhood that comes in, because obviously the drugs aren't being manufactured in our neighborhood. They're coming into our neighborhood.
Now, when did it get so bad to the point that we need a new Neighborhood Watch? Or has it been a long time coming? Or just one day things just got out of hand?
It's been the frog in the pot analogy. If you slowly turn the heat up, the frog doesn't notice. And it's been maybe the last year or so that we've really started to realize that the water's boiling around us. Myself and Corey, the other founding member, have spent a lot of time trying to improve our cul-de-sac, because our cul-de-sac's very isolated as well. And we've done a tremendous job of keeping the drug use and trespassers away. And we felt that it was time to kind of move forward and see if we could get the rest of the neighborhood to do the same and push the drug use out and the crime out.
Okay. Now, are the kids also involved in watching over, watching over each other's houses? Do they know the protocol as well? So if they see something suspicious, so that to inform an adult or, call the authorities?
Yeah, we don't directly involve the children. My view is that kids should be able to be kids and not have to worry about these things. It's unfortunate we live in this time, but they are being coached by their parents how the parents see fit for them to be involved, whether it's contact their parents, contact somebody they trust, or call the police directly.
Okay.
That's up to the individual families.
Very good. So what are you asking now from your community or from Wareham in general? How can we be of service to you?
We are not looking for, let me back up. The biggest thing that we're asking for is support when it comes to town meetings.
Okay.
Not only our support, the police need our support as well. That the rest of Wareham, if we all pull together, we can do incredible things. In the short 2-month period we've been a group, we've done incredible things, and I can see more incredible things on the horizon. So if we can do it, hopefully we can set a model that the rest of the town can work together, because the town is a large area. There's a lot of issues that we face. I've talked to officers from other communities, and they know that Shangri-La specifically is a high crime area, and there are other areas in Wareham in the same boat, or worse.
And do you feel like that can be corrected, right?
It can be.
Okay.
It's a long process and dedication, and keeping the fires burning, the enthusiasm burning to see it through is the biggest challenge that we'll face as an overall community.
Okay. When is the next meeting or gathering?
So we haven't set an official date. We are looking at August 8th, though. August 4th, I'm sorry. It's the first Saturday of August. We feel that a lot of people are going on vacations and things, and enjoy your family time, and we'll get back together at another time.
Okay. Very good. Well, thank you so much, Craig, for being here in our studio to to teach us a little bit more about the Shangri-La and the White Shores Island Neighborhood Watch.
Yeah,
I learned a lot, and I wish you all the best, and I hope more people will join in.
Thank you.
As well.
Thank you.
To my viewers, thank you for joining us yet in another episode of The Official Report, filmed right here in WCTV studio with me, your host, Queen Banda. With that, I wish you a wonderful day.